Are we live? Live, live, live. I want to know, are we live? It looks like we are. It says live here. You are live around the world with us. Yeah. And I'm going to mute that there so I don't hear me. But yeah, thank you for being here. You're live with us. Happy Monday, Monday morning here in Las Vegas. And it's great to see you. My name is Uch. I'm here with you today to talk to you about the stock market and finance. I'm going to just adjust a couple of things as you sit here with me. If you have any questions, make sure you pop them into the chat because I want to know exactly what you're thinking. I want to know exactly what you're feeling. Okay. So yes, this is new for me, being live on Twitch, because ultimately, I'm someone who, in terms of just everything recording wise, I'm used to DJing live on Twitch, but talking to you about the stock market and finance, this is all new for me, especially doing it in a public square. It's not new for me in terms of the markets, because in terms of the markets, this is something that for me, I've been in with for a long time. About 5 years now, I'm working on being in the markets, and it's just been absolutely amazing. And I want to start to bring that out. The 2020 pivot is what you might call it. Once everything shut down in the world, I looked at the stock market and I said, well, I guess I'm doing you full time from now on. And for all intents and purposes, I just want to press upon you. The market saved my life financially. I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for the market. So I'm just super, super, what's the word I'm looking for? Super grateful. Yes, absolutely grateful for the markets and what it's done for me. And now I want to bring that to you. I've been doing that with you in terms of teaching. I've been teaching the stock market now for the last working on 6 months now, actually, and it's just been phenomenal. There's a lot of people out there, perhaps like you, who don't know about the markets and wants to know more, and that's why I'm here. When I started, and when you start out, you kind of don't know where to go, who to trust, and for all intents and purposes, I'm someone who likes to bring to you the right information and make sure that you're taken care of and you're in good hands. So you know that's where we're at. That is where we're at. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to sharing all this information with you and just making sure that you're taken care of. If you want to take one of my courses, you can just you can simply just go on to yourbitcoinnow.com, and right there you'll be taken care of. So I'm just gonna find out exactly what I'm feeding back, because everything here says that I'm not talking. Oh, I have that window open, so I'm gonna just get rid of that window, and yeah, it should be good to go now. So I want to take a look at GameStop. So I'm going to share my screen and show you GameStop, because that has just been absolutely insane. GameStop has just been, that's actually what was, first on my notes for today anyway. But just seeing what GameStop has done, over the last, for over the last week, the thing is just an absolute rocket ship. So GameStop, if you don't know, is basically a video game store. So if you want to buy video games, that is where you do it, at GameStop. And yeah, it's just been an absolute rocket ship for the last week. I was trading it last summer, by the way, and I was talking about this with a friend of mine I know from church, who's also in the markets. If you're in the markets, definitely get in the chat and just let me know exactly what you're looking at. But yeah, GameStop, I was trading it last summer, and it was about $4 a share. And I don't even think I won the trade. The trade that you pick up, with GameStop. If you're me, I was trying to go long on it because I thought that it would be a decent long play, and it ended up not being a decent long play. $4 it was. Look at how much it is now. Look at how much it is now. Just absolutely insane. And 95.42 is where we're at. This thing is begging for a short. Shout out to anyone who shorted it up here, because it looks like I mean, the price went out. We're on the daily chart now you're looking at. If you want to learn any of this, by the way, I can teach you this through my stock course. But yeah, the hourly chart, if you just have a look, it sent GameStop. The stock opened today at 95.72, around where you're seeing it right now. And it hit a high of 120. It further went up from 120 to 159.18, which is an all-time high by far. The previous all-time high was about $61, and GameStop, you saw it hit that a couple of years ago. Now it's retracing the move. So shout out to anyone who caught that short at 159, because, I mean, look at this. This is crazy. And again, I traded this last June, and the thing was like $4. Just unbelievable what's happening with GameStop. And for all intents and purposes, this is what can happen for you in the markets. And I'm just re-editing the name of the stream here on Twitch, and then I'm going to go live on Clubhouse for you as well. That's something I wanted to do too, but we want to call this GameStop craziness, maybe. GameStop gone crazy. GameStop stock gone crazy, we'll call this. And I also want to give to you Bitcoin as well. So we're going to do a Bitcoin giveaway as well. So GameStop stock, say that 5 times fast. GameStop stock gone crazy. And we also have plus Bitcoin giveaway. Yeah. So yeah. Giveaway for subs, because only subs for here on Twitch. If you're a sub on Twitch, you can get some, you can get some Bitcoin. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving away Bitcoin this year, down to $85 a share for GameStop. So obviously the shorts are jumping in on this because, I mean, this is insane. This thing has been begging to be shorted. And I want to sell some calls myself on this because, I mean, look at this. This is just insane. Insane what's happening. I teach you this also, by the way, through my course, yourbitcoinnow.com. Log on to my website now. And log on to the website and I'll teach you about all of this. But I mean, just insane move. Just gone from 86 to 92. That's like a 10% move in seconds. It's just madness what's happening right now. So I want to also, the go live notification already went out. So I don't think we're doing a go live notification, but we do want to change the category on Twitch. So what do we want to call this? Typically you do this before the show. I'm still getting used to Twitch. So we're going to go with just talking, I think. You're just chatting, because that seems to be for you a very popular, for everyone here on Twitch, a very popular category. Just looking at GameStop, still at $93. Also going to talk about Bitcoin. At one point, you saw a huge drawdown in Bitcoin, and that was pretty interesting. That Bitcoin went sub 30K, so went to around 29,000. And I was thinking, I was like, maybe I should buy this dip, and I didn't. And now Bitcoin is around 33,000. So obviously, that was a pretty good short-term gain, because I mean that's a 10% move in days. And you see Bitcoin do that a lot. My thinking is, though, although I'm bullish on crypto and I'm bullish on Bitcoin for the year, I think it has some more retracing to do. Maybe it'll consolidate and kind of go straight across from here between 30,000 and 34,000 for a while. But I kind of see it retracing the move a little bit. When you look at the chart, I'm gonna pull up the chart for you for Bitcoin. It does look doesn't look a little overbought. It looks a lot overbought to you. So yeah, that's why I kind of want to, so go live notification, Ooch talking stock market, market and crypto with you. So typically you do that before the stream, but still figuring out this whole Twitch thing. New to Twitch. It's been a little over a month. Okay, so let's see. Do we want us to restart this stream? No, we don't. We want to continue on. I just have to remember next time for you to have everything set up proper. So to start, So yeah, just looking at GameStop again. It's just fluctuating now, 88, 86, and just insane. This is insane what you're seeing with this. And again, it's begging to be shorted. So I'm gonna also pull up in the future. I'm doing these for you every Monday and Thursday. That's the idea. We're going to do these Mondays and Thursdays. So Monday morning, great way to start your week, talking a bit about the markets, and also for you to just jump in and ask your questions. Jump in the chat if you have any questions. I see that, last time we had a couple people jump in. $83. Look, GameStop go. It's fallen now. It was at 96. So there's people who bought it at 96 now who are down about 10%. I mean, we've been talking here for a couple of minutes. This GameStop is just insane what's happening with this stock. I mean, this is an obvious short to me too, by the way. Very obvious short. When you look at the chart, let's just have a quick look at the chart again. So right here, you have support at $71. So right now it's flying above support. $71 you have that you can ride this down to. GameStop is at $82. Typically, you see this in the markets too, where this time of the day is kind of the middle of the day and things start to fluctuate a bit. I don't want to say bearish, but it's a quieter time of the market. So the opening of the market, first hour, and the last hour of the market, the most active in terms of when you see live people actually trading. I don't know if you know this, but most of the trading in the markets you see are algorithms. They're computers just basically trading. They're algorithms. Siri and Alexa is doing all of your trading in the market. So a lot of this action that you're seeing is that. You're seeing some human beings as well, of course. But in the beginning of the market, first hour of the US market and last hour of the US market, you tend to see a lot more humans. So people like me, people like you, actually buying and selling and actively trading. So yeah, that's basically what's happening in the market. Shout out to anyone who bought, by the way, GameStop at $4 and sold it at that 159. Can you imagine? It's a 40x return. And if you had any money, if you had $4 in June of last year, you could have turned that $4 into $159 by today, which is just phenomenal. It's why you and I love the stock market, right? Because you get to have those returns. So 78.56 is where we're looking at now on GameStop. Just a few minutes ago, the thing was at 96, $100, and now we're down to $78. So anyone who bought it at $100 is down 25% now. Looking at this, just an insane. I mean, look at the 52-week range. It's there on the chart now. $2.57 it hit within the last year, within the last 52 weeks. Phenomenal. And now just look where it's at. It's just the power of the stock market. So I'm going to open a Clubhouse now, and we're going to make it open to everyone. And we're just talking. So welcome to you on Clubhouse. Thank you for being here as well. We're here streaming live on Twitch, and we're talking about finance and the markets. I don't know if I can title this room at all, but if I can, I'm definitely going to. Yeah, shout out to you on Clubhouse for being here and for joining us. So just looking at a few other things in the market. I did want to pull up Bitcoin real quick, so I'm just going to look at that real quick. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. We love cryptocurrency here. And I'm giving away to you Bitcoin. All you have to do is be a subscriber on Twitch. And you're a subscriber on Twitch right now. You just get in the chat and say, hey, I want that Bitcoin. I'm going to enter you into today's giveaway. So we're giving away Bitcoin. And this is something, shout out to my homie Giovanni. He's been someone who's been like, you're like the #1 DJ in crypto. You this Bitcoin thing that you do with the giveaway, you just keep doing that, man. So yeah, that's the idea. I'm just going to keep doing it all year long. I'm going to be giving away Bitcoin to subscribers here on Twitch. So subscribe right now, and you'll have the chance to be entered to win. So let's see. We're looking at the stock market here, and now we're looking at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, yeah, 34,000. It's almost that. Looking at the hourly chart now, we're going to take a look at the daily chart. And yeah, I mean, it retraced and hit that 50-day moving average. It came out of overbought because it was super overbought at the beginning of the year. And now it's down. Yep, now it's down. Just hit that 50-day, and now it's looking to kind of come up. There is a resistance here I'm seeing at 35,000, which is a Fibonacci resistance. I teach you this in my market course, by the way. Join my market course now, yourbitcoinnow.com, and select the stock market course, and you can learn everything that I'm talking about here. It's actually gained me a lot, and I can teach you. So it looks like it retraced the move here a bit, and there is a resistance on the Fibonacci at 35,000. So that Fibonacci resistance, that's something that you want to take a look at and you want to be aware of, because ultimately, that right there can do a lot, can do a whole heck of a lot for you. Meaning you can run a short from there. You can also sell there. So you can buy at 34,000 with the anticipation of it going to 35,000 and then selling at 35,000. That's something that you can do as well on Bitcoin. Although right now there is a resistance you're seeing. The 12-day moving average is serving as some sort of a resistance. It's not a very strong resistance to 12-day moving average. I typically look at the 50-day moving average as a much stronger resistance and support. That said, bit of resistance there, and Bitcoin is the little engine that could. Back here a couple days ago on the 22nd, you saw it go down to 28,732. Again, an amazing pickup if you did buy that dip. Now, I'm going to just zoom out here for a bit and look on the monthly chart and show you what I'm seeing as to why I wasn't stressed to pick up that dip. By the way, thank you. And if you're just joining us, welcome. We talk about markets here on Mondays, Market Mondays for you here on Twitch and on Clubhouse. Look for me on Clubhouse too, DJ UCH, if you're not on there already. And on Twitch, twitch.tv/DJ Uch Music. So yeah, look at this. This is just, the chart typically is supposed to go diagonal. And I'll show you quickly on the Google chart what a chart should look like in terms of what you see in terms of a healthy move up. So there's a healthy move up and there's an unhealthy move up. Now, your wallet, your bank account, your brokerage account, if it's going up, it's all healthy to it, right? So it loves the fact that it goes up. It's like, yeah, just keep going up, go up and up and up and up like an elevator. But ultimately, when you're talking about technical analysis and you're talking about looking at the markets, you want your stuff to go up like diagonal, like stairs almost. And it has a nice healthy move up when I say stairs. So I'm just going to look at Google with you right now. Google's at 1865 right now, doing really, really well, as is a lot of the market. Looking at GameStop now down to $70, 69.50. So what I'm anticipating is going to respect that $71 support. So right now it's just the bears are pushing things down, and I'm expecting that 69.50 to not last. In fact, in my opinion, for a day trade, that 69.50 might be an amazing pickup right now, because I could see the price going back up to 80 or so for today. I could be wrong too, by the way. I don't know everything. Man, I really don't like when TradingView does that. It like zooms in really weird. I don't know if that's an Apple thing or a TradingView thing, but I'm just going to try this one more time. And I'll pull up Google for you so I can show you the Google chart, so I can show you what is a healthy move up. Because looking at Bitcoin here, we love the fact that Bitcoin is so bullish. But I mean, when it just kind of just goes straight up in the air like that, I mean, you see how things are. This looks now like it was just consolidating that whole time. It looks like it was going sideways when really it wasn't. So now 69.50, I think the fact that the price is stuck there right now means that trading has stopped. So what happens when a stock moves in a certain time frame at a certain speed, the market will halt trading. I'm going to look for that in just a second, and I'm going to specify for you exactly what is happening, because yeah, I mean, ultimately, why did it stop trading? What happened? Right? You're in the middle of a trade and the trading stops. That right there for a trader is like boom, 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 boom. The heart really starts to beat fast, because you don't know what's going to happen when things reopen. We do have some time though before it does reopen, so I'm just going to show you Google real quick. All right, so this is Google on the hourly chart, and I'm going to show you Google on the monthly chart, so you can kind of take a satellite view of the stock. So it's had a huge run up over the last. What's up, Leo? How are you, buddy? Here on Clubhouse talking about stocks right now and cryptocurrency. My buddy Leo's checking in from Puerto Rico. Ho! How are you, Leo? Are you all right?
Wait, can I see?
You just waking up or something, or what? What's going on?
No. I've actually never gotten into a conversation in Clubhouse before. I've always just eavesdropped. I've never actually gotten in and started talking.
All right.
I wasn't sure if I was in listening.
It's all good. I'm hoping everyone on Twitch, because right now I'm streaming on Twitch now as well. Can all of you on Twitch hear Leo? Jump in the chat and just let me know if you can hear him or not. Leo, what we're doing every Monday and Thursday now is talking finance on Twitch and on Clubhouse now. So thank you for joining us. Do you know anything about Bitcoin or the stock market?
I just recently started wetting my my toes in a little bit, like just looking into it. Actually, I know enough about in terms of the conceptual nature of it, but I haven't actually taken any steps to actually diving in just yet.
Okay, all good, all good. You know, I teach this in my course. So I have a course where I teach you the stock market. I teach you cryptocurrency at yourbitcoinnow.com. You can log on and get everything. Leo, really, the market saved my financial life in 2020. You know, I've been in the markets for the last 5 years now, and it was just something I was doing on the side, and I had a passion for my long-term future, but it wasn't something I necessarily talked publicly about. And once everything shut down, Leo, I mean, I'm sure for you, everything in Puerto Rico shut down the same way it did for us here in Vegas, and for everybody, all of you worldwide. It's like, all right, well, I guess I'm trading the markets full time now. And now I'm teaching you about the markets too, which has just been amazing. My students are really getting a lot of knowledge, and, you know, we call this a 2020 pivot, you know, because yeah, because
a lot of people doing that. There's a lot of that. You know, everybody has to recreate. You know, I guess a lot of people their whole life and career because a lot of what they went to with the pandemic. And of course, you know, Puerto Rico had the same situation after Maria, where people had to reinvent themselves. So we've had to reinvent ourselves twice in 3 years.
Yeah.
So that's amazing what you're doing, though. I you know, I've always appreciated you've always been one of those people who spreads the knowledge, and whenever you learn something, you're always very giving about it, and that's very cool. And this is a big deal, so I'm definitely checking it out now.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Leo. I appreciate the kind words. I mean, you've been somebody I've looked up to for a long time. I mean, Leo's one of the top DJs in Puerto Rico, by the way. I mean, if you're ever in Puerto Rico, he is the guy. And, you know, I remember once upon a time when I was starting out as a DJ, I met you in Puerto Rico. I was on a big trip, like a bunch of New Yorkers got together and went on this trip to Puerto Rico. And, you know, you've just been super humble and gracious, you know, for me learning from you and then working with you as well. So yeah, it's always a pleasure.
Show, that's right.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah,
that was my first time on the radio, thanks to you, actually.
My pleasure.
My first regular appearance on the radio. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. It's been a minute, right? I hadn't thought about it, but I've known each other for a long time, bro.
It's for real. And you know what? I'm overdue for a trip to Puerto Rico. It's been at least, I want to say 13 years, because once I moved to Europe, you know, I was kind of on that side of the world, and, you know, it wasn't so much over here. And then I moved even further away, as in Dubai. So, you know.
That's right. Wait, and you've been in Vegas for like 4 years? 5 years?
4 years now.
4 years. And before that, it was like 4 or 5 in, well, no. How many was it in Dubai?
So I was in Dubai for 2 years, and I was going between Ibiza and Dubai. So Dubai winters and Ibiza summers. Yeah.
Oh, no life, bro. That's great.
Yeah, for sure. Now I'm trying to be like you and find a wife and settle down, have kids. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
We haven't talked in a while with that. We're no longer together, but that's a different story. That's a different podcast. That's a different. That's all good, bro.
Yeah, well, I definitely want to catch up with you for sure very soon. Thank you for hitting us up here on Clubhouse. So we're just having a look at the markets right now. If you're on Twitch at all, or you can just, even if you're not on Twitch, you can log on to Twitch, twitch.tv/ DJ Ooch music so you can see what I'm talking about. And in addition to hearing what I'm talking about. So looking at GameStop right now, I want to share my screen with all of you here on Twitch because I'm looking at GameStop. And what happened? Ha ha ha. It's looking like it is back over that 71 hump. It's at 72.71. So it looks like it respected that right there. It looks like it respected that 12-day moving average. And Leo, I don't know if you know about GameStop, the stock at all, but do they have a GameStop in Puerto Rico?
The last one closed a few years ago. I'm not sure if it was due to the pandemic or for other reasons, but yeah, the last we haven't had a GameStop here in a few years.
So GameStop has had a lot of issues for a long time, and GameStop was a stock that I traded last summer around June. It was maybe $4 a share because again, Leo was having trouble. The stock right now, Leo, is $72 today.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so from $4 to $72, and a little earlier this morning, it hit $159.
Damn.
Yes, damn is right. So the thing has just been going insane for the last week. Like GameStop has just been going insane, and it went to about $62 or so, or $61 by last Friday. And I was talking with a buddy of mine from church who trades the markets, and I was saying this is an obvious short, at this point. And the thing went up to 159 today. So anyone who's been trying to short it as of this morning, I mean, they got completely tanked because the thing went from $60 to $160.
That's crazy. I mean, what is it? What are the like? I'm sorry, just if I may ask.
It's all good. Ask away. Ask away.
What is the like? What's the market moving on that in terms of the like? Why is it looking so good to people now? Why is it gone up so much? Because I mean, I had problems before. So what's the upside now? What's changed?
It's a great question, Leo. What is the upside now for GameStop? Why now? Right? Why is this all happening? So I tried to do some research of my own. Some, not a lot of research, just for a couple of minutes, just kind of Googled things. And I teach you in my course that Google is your friend, in terms of the markets and looking for information. I couldn't find anything solid. The most I could find is that everyone's been shorting GameStop at that low level of $4. So basically, when you're shorting the market, you're betting that it'll go down. When you're long the market, you're betting it'll go up. So what happens when you're shorting a stock and it goes up on you to a certain point, you get called on that short, meaning you have to, basically the bill comes due, right? And I can teach you about shorting in a more lengthy manner. Maybe I'll take one episode to actually do that. But it's a little tricky to understand, especially the first time. But basically what happens, the bill comes due and your broker says, okay, so this short isn't working for you anymore. And now you owe me whatever money is the collateral. And when that happens, that collateral comes in for the broker, and then the stock goes up further because there's less people shorting now. And that's essentially what the explanation you're seeing right now for GameStop doing so insane. So I'm gonna actually just Google it right now. GameStop stock and why. How about that? Because just why. The strange but true reason why GameStop stock keeps surging. All right, so there's a GameStop short sell. GameStop short sellers have lost $1.6 billion in a single day. Insane what's happening. So basically, again, if you've been shorting this thing down, maybe from $10 all the way to $4, you're thinking, you're in a good spot, and then all of a sudden, things have gone the other way. So let's just have a look at GameStop on, let's see, this is Business Insider. So investors lost, I'll just read this out loud. Investors betting against GameStop and the army of bullish retail traders have lost billions in 2021. Mark-to-market losses for GameStop shorts on a year-to-date basis reached $3.3 billion when trading closed last Friday. Losses totaled nearly $1.6 billion on Friday alone as shares rocketed 51% higher. GameStop stock has continued to climb as you've seen Reddit users and day traders have extended the unusual momentum trade into its third week. So basically traders and and people on Reddit are bidding this thing up. So the company's shares initially leaked on January 11th after it agreed with an activist investor to add 3 new directors to its board. So it did have some sort of business there. They added these 3 new directors to its board, and yeah, it juiced the stock up a bit. The day's gains drew in swaths of retail traders, including members of the popular Wall Street Bets subreddit. So there's a lot of people you see, Leo, and all of you out on Twitch right now that have, they've just been trading the market in this new economy, right? We're in a point where there's a lot of people who can't leave the house to go work the way that they used to. I being one of them, I used to be DJing, and I'd be asleep at this time, and now things have changed where, I'm up early mornings now and I'm trading the markets full time. So you have people who have changed. And part of this change has been people going into the markets more. You've seen a lot more retail traders, people who are just the average Jane, average Joe, who are saying, you know what, I think I'm going to go and trade the markets a little bit. And that's what they've been doing. And you've also seen a lot of people who have been working, right, who get all this extra money from the government, say, okay, well, I got an extra $2,000 from the government, or I got an extra $600 from the government, or I got some PPP, or I got some, whatever the case may be. What am I going to do with all this extra money? And you're seeing it go into the markets. And that's essentially what's happened. A lot more people have decided to become traders of the market, like me, only maybe they don't have the same experience as I do. And this is something new for them. So what they do is they follow Reddits. You see them follow people on Twitter. You see them follow other average Janes and Joes saying, what do you do here? Where do I go? What do I buy? And if you have enough of those people, maybe on Reddit or maybe on Twitch or maybe on Clubhouse saying, yeah, go buy this, well, then it just becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you have 1,000 people go and do the same thing at the same time. It's going to juice the stock to some degree. So now you're looking at GameStop. It's now at $81, now at $82. I want to just pull up GameStop again. So the revenge of GameStop, the thing dropped down to $69. Remember I told you it was about 72, right, Leo? That was only a few minutes ago.
Yeah. I mean, well, another question real quick.
Yep.
This sounds dangerously like maybe bubble activity, though, don't you think? I mean, if people are just buying it because it's going up, then at some point, I mean, if GameStop's fundamentals haven't really gotten better, at some point, something has to happen, right? At some point.
It sounds like a bubble. Yes, actually, Leo, that's a great point. You're actually you're echoing what I was talking about a little bit earlier. So yes, this is bubble behavior, especially if you haven't seen anything intrinsically change with GameStop to some great degree. It's not like their business is doing amazing overnight because they added 3 new people to their board of directors. It doesn't make any sense. So it's getting bidded up. Yes, you're absolutely right about the fact that this is bubble behavior. So what goes up must come down is what I teach you in my stock course. But what ends up happening right now, you have traders who are trading this thing up. So that's what you're seeing a lot of this activity in right now. And they're going to eventually leave this stock and they're going to move on to the next stock, Leo. And when that happens, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to get stuck holding the bag, and you're going to see short sellers come back in with a vengeance wanting to short this thing. I mean, if you were on from the beginning of this Twitch, you know that I was trying to short, I'm looking, this is an obvious short to me, GameStop, right? And I just don't know exactly where this thing is going to land at. But right now, looking at the Fibonacci on the monthly chart, because we're just looking at the hourly chart there, it's well below this fib here at 101. I think 101 was a perfect sell for the fib. And then you have support at 63.85. So you saw it hit around 65, 64 even out of that halt. And now we're back up to 84. But yeah, this is nothing intrinsically you've seen with GameStop has changed to warrant this much of a move. I mean, in this month alone of January, the stock has gone from $17 all the way up to $159. It makes 0 cents. But that doesn't mean you can't make money. There's people who bought it literally, when we were talking about it at $72, who are up now almost 20%.
They made some money, yeah.
At $82, yeah. you know, in minutes.
Wow.
But that's the power of the markets, Leo, and that's the power of the markets for all of you out on Twitch. I just want to, let's see, comment there. Yes, so we're just doing well here. I want to show you a healthy stock. So this is what we would consider healthy. So this is Google, right? When you see GameStop and you see this huge candle here, I mean, obviously if you're in long on that, you're excited because that means your stock has gone up exponentially in a very short time frame. But it's not exactly healthy. Let's look at Bitcoin as well. You kind of see how it's kind of going across, and then it just goes straight up in the air for the last 3 months. Having a look at Google, you can see from 2009, it just steadily goes sideways and diagonal. Like it looks like stairs. Like if you were climbing these stairs, this would be fun for you. It's like, all right, you know, it's kind of like hiking. Like it's one foot in front of the other. And yeah, there's a bit of a height to it, but it's nothing too crazy, right? If you were walking these stairs, I mean, how does that look to you? I mean, you know, it's like this would be, I mean, you'd have to jump to even make these stairs, you know? So you want
like
these things
American Ninja Warrior type stuff.
American Ninja Warrior type stuff for sure, right? So it's just, you know, you just have to be, you know, aware of what looks healthy and what doesn't look healthy. You know, ultimately, you want things to kind of move diagonally. Now, it feels great when you're in on the stock and it goes straight up in the air like that. That said, you're looking at it to eventually retrace the move, and you know what goes up must come down. So if it's going steadily up, that means it'll steadily come back and pull back as it continues to go steadily up. And when you're looking at it and it's just going straight up in the air, you know, what goes up must come down, and it's gonna, if it goes up like an elevator, it's gonna come down like an elevator. So just going to look at trading halts, because I did say I was going to look at how that works. So trading halts is a temporary suspension of trading for a particular security. We know that. We believe that GameStop trading was halted because the price went from $100 to about 60, 69.50 in minutes. So let's see. There's a certain percentage that that happens, like if a circuit breaker, that's what we call it. So an exchange circuit breaker. So stock exchanges take measures to ease panic selling. And in the, you know, under 2012 rules, market-wide circuit breakers kick in when the S&P 500 index drops 7%. So that's the S&P. For single stocks, let's see, if there's a 10% change in value, that is a member of the S&P 500. For the Russell 1000, within a 5-minute time frame, if there's a 30% change in value, there's a circuit breaker. And yeah, let's see where GameStop is on the, I don't think GameStop is on the S&P. What exchange is GameStop on? I think GameStop might be on the New York Stock Exchange. Let's see. GameStop survey says, it doesn't say. It doesn't say. Oh, that's interesting. It's showing me a bunch of exchanges. Like if you want to exchange a game at GameStop. That's funny. That's funny. What do you have any stocks at all, Leo? Or
no, I've started to consider it. Kind of what you talked about earlier, which is like, thing is, when you said earlier that some people obviously have the influx of government cash and stuff like that. Well, I mean, sadly, it helped me stay afloat, but it wasn't enough to like say, okay, I'm going to use this money to invest necessarily. It got me, you know, to pay bills and stuff like that, to cover other expenses. But now things. So besides DJing, I do video editing and animations and stuff like that, and awesome. That's been going fairly well again. And as that's picked up, I'm back to, I guess, not quite where I was. I'm still a little below last year's numbers, but at least I'm clawing my way back. And as such, I'm looking to see if maybe some of this extra money, for example, that I just got, maybe I could use it for something, even if it's just to, you know, like I said, what might be a little bit in terms of, I know a lot of people do the micro investing. I was thinking about that, you know, trading like some of those mobile apps where you trade small amounts of money in the beginning until you get comfortable. Was considering that, but I'm considering all options. It's one of those things where I have to look less at my current situation and look at what I want my situation to be going forward. And so I might have to take some of these risks and take some of this money, and instead of using it now on some stuff, invest in the future, that type of thing. Which is why this kind of thing is interesting to me now, because it's about time. I have to start thinking seriously about long-term investments and stuff like that, which I don't really have. So.
Absolutely. Well, you're in great hands here, because I definitely know what's happening. My students have just been kicking butt. I mean, one of my students, she's not even finished the course, and she's already made, $400 or $500, and she's just doing phenomenal. Yeah, she's paid for the course already, just by what she's learned and just by taking action. So, ultimately, I wrote an ebook last week that I'm going to be putting out. The plan is to put it out this week on Amazon, and it's top 10 ways to win in the stock market, which is, pretty standard. And I give you 10 tips in order for you to make moves in the market. And number one, this is a spoiler alert, but but I'm giving it to you, Leo, here in Clubhouse, and all of you here on Twitch. Number one is get a mentor, right? Because from DJing, right? When you can go and start DJing on your own and kind of figure it out on your own, or you can find someone like yourself, Leo, who knows the game, who knows how it works, who's got the bumps and the bruises, has fallen, who's gotten up, who's been at the top, who's not felt like things have gone well. You've done all of the horror stories, right? So the next person who learns from you doesn't have to. You can tell them all the pitfalls. And the same thing goes with the markets. When I started, I'm self-taught in the markets. I just would find webinars and seminars and, people I didn't really know. And I fell down rabbit holes. I fell into scams, not that everything was bad, but I definitely took losses I didn't need to take. And you take losses you don't need to take when you're kind of going into it blind. So, Leo, whenever you want to have a look at what's happening, definitely hit me up, and we'll have a Zoom, and I'll chat with you privately about what your goals are, and I'll show you some of the things that I can help you with. And that's something I implore all of you to do as well, on Twitch. I mean, ultimately, you definitely want, someone showing you what's up. And this whole system about the markets, a lot of people talk about it and it sounds like Chinese, right? You're hearing terms, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't even know where to begin. And, the beauty of my course is I make it very, very palatable. I make it for you so it's, your mom or your dad can understand it, your grandma could understand it, your kids can understand it, because it's not Chinese. It's just inside baseball. If you know nothing about baseball or football or DJing or ceramics or the music business or Real Housewives or, pick a reality show, and someone talks to you about it, you're going to be like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but when you actually learn, you start watching that show, or you start paying attention to the football more, or you start watching Sports Center, whatever the case may be, then you gain that knowledge. And the markets is the same thing. You gain the knowledge just by simply paying attention. And the beauty of what I teach to you is what exactly to pay attention to. Because once you start paying attention, you have to know exactly what to pay attention to. And that's the beauty of, meeting up with you this morning. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I have a question. Did you like when I mentioned, because a lot of people I know have gone in really hard lately on the Robinhood type stuff and the stash and those kind of mobile, like, I guess they're, I don't know what you call those. Is that like micro trading or whatever? I don't know what that is. Do you find value in starting there versus going directly to, I don't know, the market directly, like buying stocks directly through a broker or something like that?
So that's a great question. Should you start with something like Stash or Robinhood before you go with a big broker? So, the answer to that really is, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's really in getting a mentor. And the idea behind that is you want to know exactly where to go. So you can go and do it on your own, meaning like, okay, I'm going to try to figure this thing out. But what is likely to happen, and I'm not saying this will happen, but I'm just saying it's likely to happen, is you're going to end up losing on something, and you're going to get annoyed, and then you're going to say the market is a scam. And this is something I've heard many, many times. Just really super smart people. There's smart people I know who have a lot of money who will not touch the markets because they got burned. One lady I know, she's very wealthy. She lost $250,000 in the 2008 crash. Now she doesn't know anything about the markets, but she trusted somebody who was hyping her up, and that somebody didn't really know the markets either. Oh, you got to get this hot tip. I get Leo all the time. People are like, you got to buy this, da, 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 da. And I'm like, okay. And the same thing I teach, you as my students, I go through my Pickens method and I say, okay, let me take a look at the price, the chart, the news in the sector, and then I'll make a decision. And a lot of times, as soon as I look at the chart, I'm like, I'm not touching this with the 10-foot pole because this looks like either a scam, it looks like a pump and dump, it looks like a bubble, like you alluded to earlier. It just doesn't look like something I'd be interested in, because I know long term. I don't know long term, but my thinking is long term, it won't play out. And oftentimes that ends up being the case. And I know this from experience because I've gone down those rabbit holes before. So something like Stash is good. I know my brother uses Stash because it kind of lets you put your foot in the pool, to a degree, without feeling like you're betting the farm. But ultimately, it's like, if you want to start DJing, right, and you want to be successful at it, you can buy, an app on your phone, like a DJ app. And then when your friends come over, you could play music for them and say, hey, I'm a DJ, and then you could start DJing on Twitch, maybe with your phone app, but you and I know, Leo, as DJs, as professional DJs, it's like, okay, dude, like really, and you show up to the phone app show up to the club with your phone app because you got a couple of followers and stuff. And then the DJ who's there, the resident, is like, where's your gear? So like, oh, this is it. I play off my phone. They're like, yeah, ain't no setup for that. Like, you got USBs or you got a Serato? Like, what? And you're like, I don't know. It's like, well, you can play off my Serato. It's like, oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll do that. And because you've been playing off of your phone, you don't know how to use Serato. So you mess up, and then people boo you. If you're in the Bronx, they definitely boo you. And and then you say, well, maybe DJing's not for me. And it's not that DJing's not for you. It's just you didn't know exactly which way to go. And, you started off on your own, which is okay, but you didn't take the bumps and bruises. You took bumps and bruises that you didn't need to take. Let's put it that way. So, putting $100 in a Robinhood account and kind of messing around, I applaud it, to a large degree, but, I know what you can do with that $100. You can make that $100 $1,000. And, I want to help teach you how to do that. It's not going to happen necessarily overnight, but it will happen,
I feel like as someone who is historically speaking pretty conservative about my, I'm somebody who likes a certain sense of security and stuff like that. So I don't really gamble. I mean, in general, but also I don't like to gamble like on stuff that I'm not sure about in general. So I don't, in terms of, I think something like that. I think what you're saying right now to me sounds like something like Stash, but doesn't exclude me getting the help that we're talking about. Like you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not either or, it's both. It's saying, well, I can start small, but at the same time, if I'm going to start small, definitely find somebody to help you navigate, and then I'll feel comfortable more quickly that way, because the small amounts of money probably will help me take the leap, where larger amounts of money won't. But at the same time, I won't make the same mistakes if I have someone like you or someone, someone who knows helping me. And then I can jump to from the kiddie pool to the larger pool a lot quicker because I'll be more comfortable. One, because I have the knowledge, and two, because I've also kind of tested the water a little bit first too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. The kiddie pool to the big pool is the perfect analogy, Leo, because that's what it is when you don't know where to start or where to begin. And it's like, again, with anything, if you're new to construction, you want to find a great foreman, somebody who's going to teach you about construction and knows what they're talking about. If you want to learn how to DJ, you want to go to the best. You want to go to Leo. You want to come to me and say, hey, teach me. I know that you know what you're talking about. I know you're certified and I know what you've done, right? And it's the same thing with the markets too. You want to, it's okay to get started on your own. Absolutely. I got started on my own. But I know if I had a mentor, if I had this course when I started, I would be much further along faster than I am now. I know that for a fact.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and this is
DJ analogy actually really good because I've known plenty of people who say, "Oh, well, what kind of equipment should I buy?" But then never ask me any other questions.
Right.
Like, oh, buy equipment, and then it's like, okay, good luck with that. Good luck. And then other people who have gone and they visit me at the club every week and they call me up and they ask me questions. And sometimes you get annoyed with them, but other times they become some of your best friends. I have some. One of my close friends right now, is a really good friend of mine. He started DJing. I taught him. I gave him classes. He actually paid for classes when he was like 17 years old.
Awesome.
And we remained friends. But he would go visit me at the club and talk my ear off and ask me a million questions. And he became actually pretty good. Got his own residency at a club here for a while. And then he went off to do other music production stuff. But still, the point is, it wasn't just, excuse me, that's right. Thank you. He asked all the right questions and he was interested and he didn't just say, oh, I want to learn, give me the equipment and just run.
Right.
It was give me the equipment, but also please teach me, please help me, and whatever. And that's always the best way to go, I think, with these things. So I think what you're saying is, oh, there you go. Thank you. My son. Yeah, so that's I think that's, this is, I don't know if it wasn't, I had no idea what I was going to get into when I got into this clubhouse room right now with you. Just the fact that I was like, I haven't talked to you in a while, and I was like, let me see what she's up to. But this is really cool. Definitely something I want to look into. And I think I don't know. We're definitely gonna have to talk a little more offline.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely. Just having a look at GameStop here, it's at 65 now, so it's tanked, and I don't know if it's going to respect that 12-day moving average. Because it looks like it bounced off that 12-day moving average previously, and now it looks like it's tanking. Although there is a Fibonacci support at 63.85, which would essentially just, I think that would erase the gains of the day. What did this thing open at? I think it gapped up today, GameStop. Let's see. It opened today, and it gapped up in 96.73. So it opened super big. And the shorts just have absolutely clobbered it, which, congrats to the shorts, because yes, although it gapped up, it closed Friday at 65. So right now it's actually lower than it was. Well, at $71. It's just a hair higher than where it was at closing on Friday. And yes, Leo, everything that you said has been very pertinent and very correct. In that regard, I'm super thankful that you joined and jumped in on Clubhouse today, because we're doing this now. It's something new. This is the first Monday, so this is the premiere, I guess. And I didn't know if anyone was going to jump on. Also, do remember. Pardon?
I'm happy to be here. It's like I'm glad to be part of this historic moment.
Historic for sure. Yes, historic for sure. And what we're doing is we're giving away Bitcoin to anyone who is a sub on Twitch. So if you're a sub on Twitch right now, let it be known in the chat. Say, hey, I'm a sub, and you'll be entered to win Bitcoin right now. We got another 6 minutes left in today's show. So make sure you act now. And if you haven't subbed, definitely sub now, because you can sub and win Bitcoin today. What a better way to start your week. What better way is there to start your week than with some free Bitcoin?
Sounds pretty good.
Exactly. Pretty good indeed. So continuing on with this GameStop, it's at $70 now. It's just been fun to watch, because this is just insane what's happening. $159 it was today, Leo. $159. Just absolutely crazy. And now it's at 69.01. So, yep, that's what's happening with GameStop. It's on the New York Stock Exchange, also, by the way. So let's look at the NYSE trading halt rules. Trading halt rules, yeah, because I want to know exactly what the rules are. Why does NYSE halt trading? I mean, they do it quite often. I mean, I want to know exactly like specific stock, like circuit breakers. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of different explanations here. I don't want to get too deep. I can look for it on my own time and get back to you on Thursday about it. So yes, remember Thursday will be here as well, doing it on Twitch and on Clubhouse because yeah, that's what we're here to do. We're here to spread the knowledge, spread the love, spread the wealth of knowledge and the love for you, and just make sure that you're well equipped to go out into the markets and do some good things. Of course, the best way you can get equipped is by joining my course, yourbitcoinnow.com. There's a link in the chat right now on Twitch, so just click on the hyperlink and you can join with us, because ultimately that is, ultimately that's what's going to get you where you want to go. You want to get expert knowledge and expert advice in your journey in the markets. That's where it's going to get you from point A to point B. So yeah, just do yourself that favor for sure. On Thursday's show, we're going to be talking about a few other stocks. We're going to actually take a look at my portfolio as well. A pretty small portfolio because I got out of the markets to end 2019. When you looked at the chart for 2019, and it was just like, you know what? I think the markets might take a dip here. So I'm going to get out of the markets because I think 2020 is going to be a weird year. That's what I said to myself in December 2019. Didn't quite know it would be a global pandemic. So I'm definitely not Nostradamus, but I knew just from looking at this, you could look at the chart and you knew that 2020 is going to be a weird year. Presidential election years in the US have been weird years in the markets for the last 20 years. And you saw a very overbought market with many different things like interest rates being at all-time lows, the yield curve inversion. You saw there are things happening in the banks, purchase agreement. Just there's a lot happening that said, I think 2020 is going to be a weird year in the market. And it was a weird year for sure. So that's what got me out of the market. I got my toes and feet back into the pool of the markets once everything happened in 2020, because I was just like, okay, well, I guess that was the weird thing that was meant to happen. And I'm going to get in here and get long on some of these things. And I've had some success. So I've been happy about that. So I'm going to share with you what my portfolio is. Again, it's a small portfolio because I haven't gone big on the markets, although I do plan to do that for 2021. So I'm going to be sharing with you what is happening in my portfolio in this Thursday. Yeah. So make sure you're here on Clubhouse this Thursday. Make sure you're on Twitch as well. Let's have one more look at GameStop before we go. I mean, it is the little engine that could, for sure. It's at 72.21. And I mean, again, an obvious short. I mean, shout out to anyone who caught that short at 159, because I caught this today. I'm not in on this, but when preparing for the show today, it was about $96. I was like, wow. And I was like, I want to sell calls on that. I teach about options too in my course as well. But I wanted to sell some call options, and selling them at $96. That was an easy trade right there. Easy, very easy trade. And I'm gonna have a look at what the options are looking like right after the show. So thank you for being here. Thank you for checking us out. Leo, thank you for joining us here on Clubhouse.
My pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, great questions too, and great feedback as well, Leo. So phenomenal on your part. You were a great co-host today, so thank you.
Take care, man.
Yeah, you too, man. You too. And I want to thank all of you on Twitch for being here as well. You guys are awesome for being here, and we're going to continue on and continue doing this Thursday. Yes, shout out to you for watching. And if you're watching this on repeat, remember Thursdays and Mondays we're here. 9 a.m. Pacific is the time. I want to thank you all for being here once again, and I'll see you again real soon. Of course, you can find me all over socials at DJUCH. God bless. Have an amazing week.